Connect and Reflect, the show where we dive into digital discourse communities and the people who make them unique. I'm your host, Michaela O'Brien, and today we're diving into Noah Miller's discourse community. We will be exploring what makes it so unique, impactful, and most importantly, a place where people can connect and learn. In a few short minutes, we will have two very special guests joining us to dive deeper into this topic and give different perspectives to this community. But before we get into that, let's go over the basics of Noah's discourse community. If you're an avid TikTok user, you may either be familiar with Noah Miller, or you may have unknowingly seen or even liked one of his videos. Now, to answer the question you might be asking yourself, who is Noah Miller? Noah Miller, also known as N Mills on TikTok, is a popular content creator primarily seen on the platform of TikTok. He originally became popular due to his relatable content and humorous takes on pop culture events, and he has been consistently making content in line with these topics and genres ever since. He currently has over 4.8 million TikTok followers, and this number continues to increase each day. Now, let's discuss the levels of membership in this community. This discourse community has a very broad circle, but there are certain levels of membership depending on what you know about the language used and the main subjects in his content. Overall, this community welcomes anyone as a member, regardless of if you know the terminology used in communication or fully understand the topics discussed in the videos. However, there are different levels of membership. The levels of membership depend on various factors, but the top factor is the amount of lingo used. We will now be joined by our first guest, Emily, who is a new member of the community. We will discuss with her the pathway she took to becoming a part of this community, and we will later discover just how much of Noah's lingo she really knows. Okay, and now we're joined by Emily Goddard on this part of the interview, who considers herself a novice member of Noah Miller's community. Emily, how are we feeling today?
I'm doing well, excited to be here.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about Noah?
Go for it.
Okay, starting off with the first question. Emily, what previous knowledge do you have regarding Noah Miller?
I don't know too much about him. I know that he's a popular content creator on TikTok, making many funny videos.
Okay, and then do you follow Noah on TikTok?
I do follow him as of recently. After hearing about this project and looking him up on TikTok, I was interested and decided to follow him.
Okay, and how did you originally discover Noah on TikTok?
A couple years ago, one of his videos came up on my For You page when he was first coming to his fame.
Okay, and how often would you say you watch Noah's videos or content?
Every once in a while, when they pop up on my feed, I'll watch them.
And how often would you say you interact with his content?
Whenever I see them, I usually like them. I don't ever really comment or anything else, but yeah.
Okay, and last question for you. How well do you think you know Noah Miller and his lingo?
I think I know a few things pretty well. Most of the stuff that I know of his, I didn't realize was his until I started following him.
Okay, welcome back. We will now be joined with Bella, who considers herself a top-level community member. Welcome, Bella. How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I'm excited to show off all my knowledge I have on this topic.
Okay, exciting. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions to get started?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, to jump into things, what previous knowledge do you have regarding Noah Miller?
I have known about Noah for about 4 years, around 2020, and I have been keeping up with his content ever since.
Do you follow Noah Miller on TikTok? And if so, how long have you been following him?
Yes, I have been following for a few years now, and I have been becoming a big fan of his over time.
How did you originally discover Noah Miller?
He first showed up on my For You page when he started blowing up, and I immediately loved his funny content and just kept watching.
How often would you say you watch Noah's videos or content?
I've watched his content very often, and my TikTok is always flooded with his videos.
And then how often would you interact with his content when you see it?
Every time I see a video I enjoy, I like it, and I also frequently share his content with my friends or comment on his videos.
And final question, how well do you think you know Noah Miller and his lingo?
Oh, I think I know it very well, and I think I know it much better than Emily does.
Okay, we'll see. Tune back in to see the game in a bit. Now that we've interviewed both of our guests, we're going to welcome them back and finish up the podcast with a little game. How well do you know N Mills? How this game's going to work is both of our guests are going to each have their own buzzer, and I'm going to ask them questions pertaining to Noah Miller. If they think they know the answer, they can buzz in and give their answer, and if they get it correct, they get a point. However, if they get it incorrect, the other player will have a chance to rebuttal and get the point themselves. Let's jump into it. Okay, to start off with our first question, what is Noah's TikTok username? Oh, Bella got that one.
N Mills with a Z at the end.
Correct. Okay, moving on to question number 2. What genre or type of content does Noah normally post? Emily?
Comedy?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to question number 3. What word does Noah and his community use in place of baddie or girl boss? Bella?
Diva.
Correct.
Darn it,
Those
I
are
knew
good.
that one.
Moving on to question number 4. What song did Noah Miller and his community bring back or resurface through the use of TikTok videos and hashtags? Bella?
No, that was me.
No. That was me.
I think Bella had that one. Bella, what's your answer?
Flex by Fifth Harmony.
Correct. Moving on to question number 5. And by the way, the current score is 3-1, Bella. Finish the phrase. Body is blank. Emily?
T.
Correct. We are now on our final question, and the score is 3-2, Bella. If Emily gets this one right, we're going to have to go into overtime and have a sudden death question. Finish the phrase. Mama a blank. Emily?
No, I had that one!
Mama a banty behind you.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Bella, you can now rebuttal, and if you get the question right, you win the game.
Mama, a girl behind you.
Correct! Bella!
No!
Okay, thank you both for coming on today. And now that we've wrapped up the game, the final score is Bella 4 and Emily 2. Now to finish up the podcast, I just want to do a little reflection about everything we've discussed and learned today. So, Noah Miller is primarily seen on TikTok with his content being comedy based on various different pop culture events going on. So if that's something that interests you, I would definitely recommend looking more into his account and then possibly becoming even a top tier level member of the community. Now, just to quickly reflect upon the various phrases or lingo that Noah uses in his community. A lot of the phrases used, you may have either heard from some of your friends or online, and you might not even have known that they either originated from Noah or they became increasingly popular due to his account. If these are some of the phrases you've used in the past or you've heard people use and thought they were funny or interesting, I would also definitely recommend looking into his account because he has various different phrases and bits that he likes to use that could be of interest to you. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Noah and his community, and I'll see you all next week.